Hello YouTube, Dave here again. I am back with another new game stuff video. I got some awesome things, some from my local game store, as well as some items that were sent to me for review that I've been really looking forward to getting. So there's a lot of cool stuff in this video, so we're just going to sort of dive right into it. The first thing I have here is actually some comics, and the last few months we really haven't been going out or doing a whole lot, especially with like certain mandates lifting and numbers not really going down to reflect, stuff like that. So just, staying home mostly to be a bit more cautious, or if we're going out, it's, for something specific. So finally got down to my local game store for the first time in a while. And it turns out I had a few comics waiting for me. I forgot. I think the last time I was actually checked was probably around Christmas time or shortly thereafter. So got, like I said, some really cool stuff here. So the first thing we're going to show is this Rick and Morty D&D comic. This is the Meeseeks Adventure. This is a one-shot, so it's not like the other Rick and Morty versus Dungeons and Dragons series that they've done, which had like multiple issues. It's just a single sort of one-shot thing. And the overall premise is that a group of adventurers find Meeseeks box and, I guess hilarity ensues. It's a really cool read. I enjoyed it. The cover's a little misleading, I will say. I don't want to spoil too much, but there's very little of Rick and Morty and a lot more of like the Meeseeks. So I don't know. The cover is cool. There's multiple covers to the book, I guess. This one is really cool, but it is slightly misleading. But still, nonetheless, really cool. Let's see if we can actually see. They normally will have some of the different covers, I think. They usually tend to show them. Okay, I guess that's basically just what we have here. So there's not a ton of stuff here. We do get one of the covers, and thankfully they do reproduce it here, but they actually do give us the Meeseeks Warlord, which is a fighter barbarian, variant human. Things like personality traits: must complete their mission at all costs. Ideals: follow the command of the button presser, ooh-ee. Flaws is existence is pain. The longer they exist without completing their task, the harder it is to function normally. And the bond is the task they are given is everything. So I don't know, just kind of cool stuff. I was a big fan of the first run of the Rick and Morty versus Dungeons and Dragons comics. I thought that one was really good. The second series was okay, but not nearly as good as the first one. But this is definitely worth checking out at your local comic store, game store, hobby shop, wherever you may get your comics from. This one is definitely worth it if you are a Rick and Morty and or Dungeons and Dragons fan. All right, up next, I have the series, or I think this is the full series, of the Mindbreaker storyline for the D&D comics. I've gotten a few of these in the past, following, Minsk and Boo and the other new characters whose names I always forget. I actually haven't read this yet. I just picked this up a couple of days ago. But we've got the full thing here, and some of the covers I really love because we've got, Magic Missile, we've got Displacer Beasts, we have Minsk. The next cover looks to be like an Eye of the Deep or some sort of like beholder type creature. I think that's actually a Mind Witness, which is the hybrid beholder mind flare type of creature, but really cool stuff. Then we've got Minsk with Boo, and like I said, I don't really know what's going on there. And then we've got the cover for the 5th issue, which has like the Illithid on there. And like I said, I haven't read this one at all yet, so unfortunately I really can't give you a premise of what's going on. Most of these comics, especially involving like Minsk and Boo, have usually followed the current story that was going on. Like they had one going into Ravenloft with Strahd. They had one that was sort of against the Giants when Storm King's Thunder was out. The last series that I remember reading was their Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus sort of tie-in. So the Mindbreaker is kind of separate from all of those. So I'm actually really interested to see what this series is all about. Just because it doesn't seem to be related to any of the other stories going on, so there might be a bit more creative freedom taken here, but really cool stuff nonetheless. So I'll definitely be checking those out. All right, the next thing I got here, we were at our local, I guess it's called GameStop now. In Canada, it's usually EB Games, but I think they rebranded the company to all just be one thing. So we were there this past weekend and just sort of looking around, and they're expanding their Dungeons and Dragons collection, like what things that they actually will stock. And this one thing that they got was just so cool that I had to get it. So this is the figurine of Adorable Power, and it is the Black Dragon. Now I'm going to do an actual video taking you out and having a look at it, but these are just sort of like these vinyl figures. It's similar to like the Funko Pop. Yeah, Ultra Pro is the one that does these ones, but it's just, I don't know, it's cool. Black dragons are my favorite dragons, so saw this and just, had to pick it up. So I will be doing it, like I said, an unboxing video, just showing it off in a little bit more detail. That should be out in a couple of days, actually. All right, now the last thing that I picked up myself is also tied to two of the items that I just received earlier today, the day that I'm recording this. But what we have here is the Pocket Edition of the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Guns and Gear book. Now, Paizo had sent me the hardcover, and I haven't gotten around to doing the review yet, because I wanted to do like a comprehensive flip through in the video. I might not necessarily go that far with this when I actually do the video now, but one of the issues was that the book that I received was actually misprinted, and it duplicated some of the section for, I think, like the Gears character, whichever the character class is presented first in this book. It actually duplicates like a big chunk of the of that chapter, like that section. So I wanted to have a pocket edition to compare, just to make sure that I'm not missing any pages, because it would make it a little bit more difficult to do a review if I'm missing some of the information. So finally, like I said, I got down to my local game store, and they previously didn't have the pocket edition, and I didn't really want to buy a new hardcover, and the hardcover that I did get, it was sent to me for review purposes, so I don't like to complain, I guess. So maybe it's the Canadian side of me, but I didn't want to complain that it was misprinted, and I was just waiting to get my hands on one of these. But I'm glad that I actually waited, because I can do some videos around this Guns and Gear book now, because just today I received the following from Paizo. So those were all the items that I picked up myself. The next few things I'm going to show here, the final 4 things, are items that were sent to me. But what we have is we have the card set for the Pathfinder Guns deck. So these are the pieces of equipment for the guns-related characters in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. So this is the equipment deck for that. The box is actually pretty sizable. I'm pretty sure it's just the cards there's like 2 sets of them. But we'll have a look when I actually do like the unboxing and showing all the cards and going through the review. But the packaging alone just looks absolutely amazing. And what's really cool about it is that it actually matches with the way that the book is laid out. So you can see like the guns characters, for example, has this blue border going around the pages for the chapter for that type of character, and the gear set, or the gear deck, has the exact same design, which is really, really cool. And that also applies to the Gears deck. Now this is the deck of the 2 that I'm the most interested in. I'm not going to get too much into spoilers for when I do my Guns and Gear review video, but guns in like fantasy RPGs have never been my favorite thing. To be fair, like steampunkish kind of inspired things are also not really my thing. But of the 2 classes, I really like the Inventor. And like both the classes are well done, don't get me wrong, but the Inventor is the one that sort of appeals to me a bit more. And again, you've got the box that has the same design as the chapter for the Gears related characters, which is right there. So you can actually see, just again, really, really cool from design purposes, just, an aesthetic thing. And one thing that I will say is that I think Pathfinder, or Paizo, for their Pathfinder products, have really kind of stepped up some of their presentation, not just the accessories like this, but also just the books. And we're going to see a little bit more of that here in a moment as well. But let's just slide those off to the side. The next thing that I have here is this white envelope, and inside should be one of their adventure paths. So when they send the stuff out, like the books and the card sets are in the box, but the adventures, or the sort of like the softcover books, they will actually put in one of these sort of card stock sleeves, and it's just the one adventure in there. Okay, just want to make sure there was no slips or anything else. So this is also related to the guns and gears. We have the Outlaws of Alkenstar Adventure Path Punks in a Powder Keg. So this sort of ties in with the gears and guns sort of concept, and I'm looking forward to this one as well. Like they've had their last major adventure path, I think, revolved around the Mwangi Expanse. So it's kind of be interesting to see how this one plays out. So I might actually do a standalone video for this one, just as part of my week next week of looking at Pathfinder 2nd edition guns and gear related stuff. So that's really cool. And then the major thing that I was the most excited for out of everything is the Pathfinder 2nd edition Book of the Dead. Now, I'm not going to spoil too much here, but a while back I did a video talking about the 3rd edition or 3.5 book Libris Mortis, the Book of the Undead, and just how disappointed I was in that book. Now, this book basically is what I wish that other one would have been. There's just some really cool stuff in here. There are ways for you to play various types of undead, as well as some new undead monsters and information and lore on them. There's even, I believe, an adventure included in here as well. So just, again, really, really awesome stuff. I love the cover art. I love the green. Like, green is one of my top 3 favorite colors. And I just love the like the dark shade of green here. And you can see on the spine, we also have the Pathfinder Book of the Dead. And then the art on the back there with the Lich just looks really, really awesome. And again, just to, like I said, I don't want to spoil too much, but just again, when I talked about the design and sort of the just the aesthetic quality of the more recent Pathfinder books, like just take a look at the just the way that the pages and stuff are sort of designed and laid out. Like the border looks really awesome with the I don't know if that's like a brazier or whatever it is. You got like the skulls, the different sort of undead related iconography. You've got, you know, these sort of things festooned on the top there. It's just, again, just a really, really awesome design for the book. And it seems to actually get darker as you go, because that's actually a different color than other parts of the book. So I don't know, just again, they just, you know, find a way to really just visually, the visual presentation of Pathfinder's 2nd edition stuff is just absolutely top notch. So there you go. Those are the items that I've picked up or received in the last few weeks. Let me know in the comments below of the things that I've shown here. What are you most looking forward to seeing in a video review? And or if you've picked any of these up, let me know what your thoughts are on them. If you've read things like the Mindbreaker comics, you can share that with me as well, what your thoughts are on that. So anyway, I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I want to thank Paizo for sending the last 4 things that I'd shown, the 2 card sets, as well as the Adventure Path and the Book of the Dead. I really want to thank them for saying that, because that's just stuff that I'm super, super psyched about, and I can't wait to start diving in. So anyway, thank you guys very much. If you picked, let me know what some of the cool stuff that you guys have managed to find over the last few weeks or months or whatever, just what some of your favorite pickups have been in recent memory, and I look forward to it, because you guys always find some really amazing stuff. So once again, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I will see you all next time. Take care.